Bobcats possess an extraordinary anatomy perfectly tuned for concealment, a mosaic of physical traits that together craft an almost supernatural ability to disappear into their surroundings, beginning with their coat. A short to medium pelt whose base colors shift subtly between buff, reddish-brown, gray, and creamy white, overlaid with irregular dark spots and bars that scatter their outline like fragments of broken shadow. This disruptive patterning works in every season, but its brilliance lies in flexibility, as individuals born in snowy regions develop lighter, thicker fur with faint gray rosettes, while desert dwellers wear sleek, sandy tones with bolder markings, and forest cats carry richer, russet coats that echo autumn leaves or pine bark grooves, allowing each population to mirror its homeland, a living chameleon of texture and hue. Beneath this fur, a dense layer of insulating undercoat traps heat in winter, yet sheds easily when warm months arrive, keeping the animal's profile slim and smooth against tall grasses or stone. Their muscular build is compact yet elastic, with forelimbs slightly longer than hind limbs to support low crouches and explosive pounces, while a flexible spine and powerful haunches let them coil in absolute stillness before springing forward with a burst that seems to come from nowhere. The bobcat's face adds another dimension to stealth. High cheek ruffs and black-tipped ear tufts help break up the roundness of the head, disguising its outline against cluttered backdrops of twigs or reeds. Even its short, stubby tail, marked by a dark dorsal band and white underside, is a tool for disguise, mimicking dead branches or blending with shadows as it flicks to maintain balance during careful climbs. Paw pads are thickly cushioned and furred at the edges, absorbing sound as they press against snow, leaf litter, or dusty soil, enabling the cat to advance with a near-audible whisper. Sharp retractable claws remain hidden inside sheaths until the final rush, preserving silence and preventing accidental glints that might betray position. Vision, too, is shaped by the demands of camouflage. Large, amber-to-gold eyes collect light efficiently in dusk and dawn, the bobcat's prime hunting hours, while slit pupils contract in bright sun, letting it remain watchful without drawing attention. Whiskers splay wide to sense the edges of rocks or tree trunks when moving through darkness, guiding the body while the mind focuses on prey or escape. Even scent glands at the cheeks, paws, and base of the tail support the art of concealment. Instead of overwhelming an area, they leave subtle cues that warn rivals without attracting predators, a chemical invisibility to match the visual one. Together, these features turn the bobcat into an anatomical masterpiece of stealth, a predator whose very bones, muscles, and skin are orchestrated to keep it hidden until the instant of decision. Whether that is a lightning strike on an unsuspecting rabbit or a measured retreat deeper into shadow when a threat approaches, and this suite of adaptations, honed by millennia of evolution, explains why people may hike for years through bobcat country and never glimpse more than a fleeting ear or tail tip slipping like smoke through the trees. When it comes to the hunt, the bobcat's camouflage becomes more than simple concealment. It transforms into an elegant choreography of patience, physics, and predatory artistry, allowing the cat to become part of the scenery until the very instant it decides to reveal itself in a lightning surge of movement. And every detail of its body and behavior is bent toward that single purpose of ambushing prey before the victim can register danger. Beginning with its choice of terrain, a careful reading of wind direction, light angles, and the textures of vegetation or stone where its mottled coat will best dissolve the body's silhouette, be that among the dappled shafts beneath oak branches, the pale rubble of a desert arroyo, or the snowy folds of a winter hillside, followed by the selection of a vantage point, often a low-ledge log, or thick grass clump from which it can observe without betraying outline or scent, holding itself in statuesque stillness until an opportunity arrives. At such times the bobcat's breathing slows, muscles settle into a suspended coil, and only the flick of an ear betrays awareness as it listens for the faint thump of rabbit feet, the chatter of a ground squirrel, or the wingbeat of a quail, its pupils dilating to gather every glint of motion in the half-light of dawn or dusk when most small mammals stir. Stealth continues in the approach, a sequence of calculated steps, each paw laid with infinite care so that dry leaves shift barely, if at all, while the body flows forward like water across stone, using cover such as brush, tree trunks, or even boulders to break its outline as it inches closer to striking range. And here the bobcat's ability to freeze becomes vital. Should the prey lift its head, the cat arrests all motion, relying on its cryptic coat and the natural clutter of the landscape to make it vanish from perception. sometimes holding this pose for several minutes until curiosity or complacency lowers the quarry's guard. The final act is a burst of speed fueled by those coiled hindquarters, launching the predator in a sudden leap that can span 10 feet or more, claws extending and jaws opening in a precision strike aimed at the neck or shoulders of its target. Rabbits, hares, chipmunks, woodrats, and occasionally birds like turkeys or grouse all fall within this menu. And in some regions, bobcats may even test their skill against small deer fawns or domestic poultry, though they rarely risk a battle beyond their size. Success is not guaranteed. Even with perfect camouflage, the slightest miscalculation in wind, footing, or prey awareness can send potential meals bounding away. But the stealthy strategy pays off often enough to sustain a solitary life across vast territories. Once the catch is secured, the bobcat may drag it beneath brush or to a secluded hollow, hiding leftovers for later, a behavior echoing the same instinct for secrecy that governs its entire lifestyle. And in these hunts we see how camouflage is not a static trait, but an active discipline, a way of moving and thinking, an alliance between physiology, environment, and cunning. Proof that invisibility is as much about the art of restraint as it is about color and pattern, and that the bobcat's survival hinges on an almost meditative commitment to remaining unseen until the very moment when invisibility must give way to the explosive reality of tooth and claw. The bobcat, one of North America's most adaptable wild cats, has long fascinated both scientists and wildlife enthusiasts because of its mysterious lifestyle, its stealthy hunting skills, and its remarkable ability to survive in diverse habitats ranging from dense forests and swamps to deserts, mountains, and even the edges of suburban neighborhoods. Among the many prey species that bobcats rely on to survive, birds hold a special place, not because they form the largest portion of the bobcat's diet, but because they reveal just how versatile and opportunistic this predator truly is. At first glance, one might assume that birds, with their ability to fly and escape into the open sky, would be beyond the reach of a land-based hunter like the bobcat. Yet nature has a way of surprising us, and the bobcat has developed strategies to exploit the moments when birds are most vulnerable. Ground-dwelling birds such as quail, grouse, pheasants, and wild turkeys spend much of their time foraging on the forest floor, scratching for seeds, berries, or insects, and it is in these moments that the bobcat excels. Patient and silent, the bobcat crouches low in tall grass or beneath a cover of bushes, its spotted coat blending seamlessly into the shadows, its tufted ears twitching at the faintest rustle, its golden eyes locked on its target. With extraordinary patience, sometimes waiting for many minutes or even hours, the bobcat measures the distance, calculates the angle, and when the moment is right, launches itself in a sudden burst of energy, covering several feet in a single bound, its claws extended, its jaws ready